Well, hi, everybody. James Escarcega with Freddie Robledo as we get towards, I would believe, Freddie, I can't believe you're saying it, but it's the last week of the football season. Freddie's got his new background up. I believe, Freddie, if my memory serves me correct, is that Northview?
That's Northview High School. And one of my predictions way back when I got it right, and they had a sign that said, Fred is finally right about this dream team. And I put that up because, Northview is a team that we really kind of overlooked all this year, and they're going to be playing for a league title on Friday night that I think they're going to get.
Yes.
So, that's great for them. They've beaten San Dimas. They've beaten Diamond Ranch. They've done the hard part. They beat Los Altos, James, on Friday, and they're winning a league championship.
What a crazy 2 days for Eric Martinez and his group at Diamond Ranch and with Los Altos. They started playing Thursday, then the power went out, so they had to wait till Saturday to get the game in, and they got it in. And Diamond Ranch wins, and then we'll talk about it a little bit on the lightning round. But they're basically playing San Dimas for a playoff spot on Friday, Freddie.
Yeah, they are, and look, they're also playing to go undefeated in league. Northview. So, Northview and Covina, they can actually be in the same playoff division. I think they're ranked a couple of spots apart. And Covina playing for the Sierra League title against Pomona. So, the two Covina district schools are holding it down, James.
Okay, so that's the fun part of it. And before we continue, we should talk about the big news that Freddie broke Monday night, which is Pasadena Muir. No turkey tussle this year, Freddie, because of a COVID protocols within Amir. And I put this out last night. I don't know whether I should be angry or sad.
I think both. I got wind of this Monday night, James. We started recording our 2-minute drill. Had to cancel it Monday, obviously, because this was just a game changer. Mir had what happened was, from my understanding, is a family member of one of Mir's players tested positive over the weekend. So they asked this player if he would test, and he came back positive. So that's how it happened over the weekend. And then, the Pasadena Unified Health, School District Health Department, they have tighter protocols in other areas. So they require a mandatory that players that with this player have to go into quarantine. And it was just going to impact too many players in their team who wouldn't be able to practice this week. They had to make the tough decision to cancel the turkey tussle. And look, these two teams have been playing since 1954. Last year's game, it wasn't played in the fall. It was pushed back in the spring, but at least that 2020 game was played, which was won by Pasadena. But this is a real bummer for seniors, for family, for everyone who loves playing this game at the Rose Bowl, because this is what makes going to Pasadena Muir special. You get to finish your year, especially if you're a senior, in the granddaddy of them all. And this year, both teams were 4-0, and they were going to play for the outright league title, which I think it's been probably over 20, 25 years since we've been in a situation like that. So it's just sad all the way around, but that's life during the coronavirus. This isn't the first team that has had to cancel this year. We've had a lot of cancellations. La Mirada is another team that opponent couldn't play this week, so they won't have a game. And Pasadena, I talked to Coach DeJuan Schamberger this morning, and they're not going to even look for a replacement game on Friday because the playoff pairings are going to be announced on Sunday. They don't even know what divisions they're going into, but I think they're going to err on the side of safety too, and just not take a chance on trying to find an opponent, maybe getting someone hurt, another COVID situation. So I think both teams now are going to have this week off. We'll find out where they play on Sunday. But yeah, James, total bummer that we don't have this game. And I was going to pick Pasadena to win, although I think Muir's defense, which has 3 shutouts and has given up just 6 points in 2 other games, was going to give them a run for their money. But we're never going to know now. That's just it.
It's a sad part about it. The ironic part, though, Freddie, is, and we were just talking about this about an hour ago off the air, there's a true possibility that maybe these two teams will be in the same division for the playoffs. I have Pasadena projected in 6 and Muir in 7, but not too much of a stretch of the imagination, Freddie, to think these two teams might be in the same division.
Yeah, and that would be something. I mean, that would be the greatest thing to come out of all of this, if there was a possibility they could meet in the playoffs. It wouldn't be at the Rose Bowl, obviously, but for these two teams to meet at some point, I think a lot would have to happen, James. I think they're about 20 spots difference
Mm-hmm.
right now. These playoff divisions are made up, you know, in 16 team brackets. So I'm not sure it'll happen. I think they're going to be a division apart, but it would be great if they did. But again, the turkey tussle. My parents both went to Muir, so I grew up understanding what the turkey tussle was all about, what it meant to these families, and this is just a shame that they won't be able to play that game on Friday, especially because last year's game in the fall was canceled. I know it was pushed back to the spring, James, but it didn't have the same atmosphere. There wasn't the crowds weren't in like they would have been on this Friday. So this is really, when we play next fall, it's going to really be 3 years since we played the turkey tussle in the fall.
I just don't think we'll have a game of it with this magnitude.
No.
So much at stake here, Freddie. I think that was the real fun part about it was, the bigger the game, the bigger the stakes, the more memorable the game becomes. I mean, you've done it for so many years, Freddie. Am I right?
Yeah, going back to the early 2000s, I've covered a lot of these games. Watching Pasadena beat Muir in the spring, that was the first time since 2015. They've only beaten them twice since '94, and I think Pasadena is getting ready to go on that run. They've got their program rebuilt. I think they were going to make it two straight. I think from Pasadena, that's why they're a little disappointed. They really wanted to put one over on Muir. They really wanted to beat them. They really want, that whole red is better that they've been talking about. They wanted a chance to prove it again. So what's going to happen is they're going to settle for co-league championships. CIF has decided that games canceled due to COVID will be declared no contests. And there's really no sense in declaring a forfeit winner, James, because as you know, going into the playoffs, it really doesn't matter whether you finish first, second, or third. It's just about qualifying. Your CalPreps ranking will determine your division and whether you have a home game in the first round.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. That's not going to happen Friday. It's unfortunate, and we've had to adjust our coverage a little bit. Friday, Freddie's basically going to be, he's going to be kind of like the hockey goalkeeper. He's going to catch all these tweets throughout the night. He's going to throw them out, and he's going to put a roundup together of all the big games that are happening in the area, so to speak. So we really want to make sure and follow Freddie on Twitter Friday night because he's going to be your place you want to be at for all the games in the San Gabriel Valley. By the way, Freddie, I want to wish a special congratulations to Pasadena Poly. And I say this, Freddie, because a few years ago, they had such a great team and they didn't make the playoffs because of the circumstances regarding the prep league. They go to the Coliseum, they beat La Cañada, they get their playoff spot, and most likely, Freddie, they're going to get a home game and possibly a pretty good seed for the playoffs.
Well, I don't think going into the Rio Hondo League, I don't know if they thought they would finish top three right away in that league the first year they're in that league. You got to remember, Pasadena Poly is a really small school compared to the teams in the Rio Hondo League.
Yeah.
Them to come in and probably finish second in the Rio Hondo League behind Monrovia, James, is really big for them. And they were used to be in that league with Rio Hondo Prep, and Rio Hondo tough spot because they're in that Gold Coast League where they give away the first two playoff spots, and they had that one game for third, so they've got a hope for an at-large to get in. While Pasadena Poly was really was able to get into that Rio Hondo League and give themselves this opportunity. And look, they got a chance to play in the Rose Bowl. They've beaten La Cañada, they've beaten South Pasadena. This is a team, depending on what division they go in, that you've got to keep your eye on.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about some of the action here this week, Freddie. These are games that Freddie will be keeping track of on Friday night. And I think the big one now becomes Bishop Amat at Sarah. You were at the game last Friday, Freddie, where Bishop Amat defeated Chaminade. Here's my question. How hard will the Lancers play knowing that they're already in the playoffs?
Well, I think they need to play hard because this game could possibly be for a Division II first-round home game. If you look at Bishop Amat right now, they're in that bubble of about the 9th or 10th ranked team in Division II if the playoffs started today. What they did last week by beating Chaminade was guarantee themselves a playoff spot. Now, whether they finish second or third, that really doesn't matter now. they are in. So beating Sarah on Friday could push them up that ladder, James, to where they will be guaranteed a home game in the first round. It's already a lock. They're going to be in Division Two. I don't think that's going to change. This is going to be the first time in 3 or 4 decades that Bishop Amat, when they've entered the playoffs, will not be in Division One. So this is going to be new chartered waters for them, and it's going to be good for them because take away last year, the 2 previous years, they were sneaking in that open division as the 8th and 7th place team, playing the Modern Days and the Boscos, getting hammered in the first round. It's been a while since Bishop Amat has been in a position to win a first round home game, maybe 5 or 6 years. So, or to make a realistic run in the playoffs. And I think in Division Two, they're capable of playing with anyone. I think that win over Chaminade kind of shows that they're capable of playing with anyone. And Sarah's going to be another indicator on Friday night because both teams have a lot to play for. But both teams are in the playoffs. So it will be curious how they both look at it. But if I'm Bishop Amata, I want to win that game. I want that first round home game at Kiefer. And that also, guarantees your game is going to be a little bit more winnable because if you fall in the bottom half of that Division Two bracket, that could be a real tough first round game, James.
Yeah, you end up going to South Orange County. You may go to Ventura County. You just never know where you're going to be at. Freddie, one quick question for you here. How improved is Bishop Amat's defense?
Well, you had to improve after giving up 500 yards the week before to Alemany. I
Right.
mean, so
But let's push that game aside. Just push it aside. Let's just start from the Damien game all the way down. Have they shown the improvement that you'd like to see?
well, except for that Alemany game, yes. But again, it all has to do with opponents, James. Against really, really great offenses with great Division One players. And look, we've seen it when they played Bosco. We've seen it when they played Servite. Alemany was the third one. Their defense gave up a lot of stuff. But that game against Alemany was winnable. Look, it was 45-35. It was a 10-point game. Amat took it, but they were also able to give it right back. They get Alemany again. I'm sure they're not giving up 500 yards a second time. They'll have a chance to make adjustments. Alemany's teams that could be favored too. And then you come back and you have a good defensive showing against Chaminade. So I think their defense is good enough in Division Two because their offense is good enough to score a lot of points against anybody. I think Amat is in a good spot right now going forward, a winnable spot. Look, nothing's going to be given to you in these playoffs. All I think they've wanted the last few years was an opportunity to win. They're going to have an opportunity to compete in the Division Two playoffs with their defense, with their offense. It's going to be a fun watch, James.
You're picking Bishop Amat, obviously. Then.
I'm picking Bishop Amat to beat Sarah on Friday. I do think that these are the type of games they're good enough to win. And I think with what's at stake, a home game, they're going to want to go out and get it.
Yep. The other marquee game on Friday night, Freddie, this is the game I'm going to be at. I am a sucker for rivalries. Last week I was at Lucerna El Rancho. Big game, huge crowd, big win by Lucerna. Now, this week, another rivalry game for me. It's the Branding Iron game. It's Walnut at Diamond Bar, but again, the stakes are a little bit higher because there's this thing called the Hacienda League Championship that's hanging in the balance here, Fred.
Yeah, we have a lot of there's a lot of rivalry games, in the area. There's the Wheel, which is played between Los Altos and Wilson. And the Branding Iron game is another one of those local rivalry games. And James, we haven't covered this game, I want to say, for the past 10 years, only because, when you look at every Friday nights, they were just bigger games. These teams were in different leagues, weren't really playing for league titles. Walnut has had it rough over the last decade. Diamond Bar's had a few good years here and there. But with these new 4-team leagues, and now they're playing the Branding game in week 10, and they're both 2-0 in their league. Boom, this sets up for a league championship game. Both teams are already are going to be in the playoffs. We don't know what division. It'll probably be between 12 and 14. We'll find that out later. But, this is why they set up in the Mount Sac area these 4-team leagues, whether you like it or don't like it. There's going to be some teams in tougher leagues that don't like it. But this is what it created. And you've got Walnut and Diamond Bar playing for a league championship in the Branding Iron game. And this is exciting because they are both playing pretty well this year. Walnut is improved, whether or not they were going into this 4-team league or not. And I'm picking Walnut to go on the road and beat Diamond Bar on Friday night and win that league championship, James. I don't know who you got, and you're going to be there, but it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a big crowd.
So, Freddie, my locks of the year, 4-0, pal. 4-0. Make it 5 in a row. Diamond Bar, lock of the week. Double book it.
They've got, if you're looking at who's the player in the game that you have to spot, that's it, you have to stop. Diamond Bar has that guy, right?
Yeah, Mikey Gorbet.
Yeah.
So he's, I believe, number 2, number 3 in the area, or maybe even number 1 rushing. He's been some big numbers.
He's been number 2. He's gone back and forth, but that's the guy you've got to stop. So, look, I'm making the upset pick here. That's for sure. If you're going to say who's the favorite, I think it is Diamond Bar because of Mikey. But I like what Walnut's done in a few games, and in a rivalry game, I'm going to go with the upset winner.
And of course, Walnut's principal is Ryan Main, graduate of Diamond Bar High School, and I believe Freddie, you covered him back in the day. You covered him in
the famous game against Upland. Ryan Main was a quarterback in the famous championship game where they had five plays. James, it was a 5th down.
5 downs.
Ryan Main converted it. They went on to finish the drive and win the championship. It took a lot of years for Ryan Main to finally admit that the 5th down. But he's a great guy. He's the Walnut principal now, going against his old school. So I'm sure this is going to be fun for him.
I have been told I need to take an extra jacket with me Friday night, so I'm going to definitely do that.
In the summer, I take an extra jacket to Diamond Bar off that freeway, boy. It gets cold.
Time for the thermals for Friday night. So that's going to be the Branding Iron game between Walnut and Diamond Bar. I'll be there on Friday night. We'll between all the updates and the videos, so to speak. All right, Freddie. Here we go. This might be our last one. We may have to do one more next week for our first round video. But you know what time it is here, pal. It is time for the lightning round. That's right, folks. We're going to go rifle through 10 games here quickly. Thursday and Friday action. I'm sorry, Freddie?
10 games. We better go fast. We're going to go fast.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got it. Let's start Thursday night then. Salesian at LaSalle.
LaSalle had their first win of the season, James, but that's it. They're a one and done. They're going to lose this week. Book it.
Okay. South Pasadena, Monrovia.
Oh, this game is a Thursday night special. Ironically, it is for the league title. South Pasadena has just one loss to Pasadena Poly. But look, this is all about Monrovia. They're going to win. They're going to win by 3 touchdowns. Book it.
Friday, and this has also got league ramifications. It's Sure at San Gabriel. San Gabriel wins. There's a 3-way tie for first place in the Almont League. If Sure wins, they take it all.
Hey, we've got Donald Morrison covering that game. It's a big game. San Gabriel lost to Bell Gardens. They lost bad. Can they come back and share the league title by beating Sure in the league finale? This is their opportunity, James. I'm going with the upset winner here, too. San Gabriel at home is going to beat Sure, and you're going to have a 3-way tie for the league title along with Bell Gardens.
Oh, Coach, we may have to put a lunch bet on that. Come on now. You know what you... Oh, my God. St. Paul is at Loyola. Fantastic game, Freddie.
Fantastic game, and that's one of the ones I'm going to be tracking on Friday night. You mentioned that earlier. What am I going to be doing with the turkey tussle down? We've got a lot of games of playoff implications, league championship implications, and with Sunday being the draw, I'm going to sit in and I'm going to kind of write a roundup so we have that online and in print on Saturday morning so people know what is coming on Sunday. But this is a big game because if St. Paul can go in there and win, James, again, another 3-way tie for the league title. St. Francis will be rooting for them. St. Francis lost to Loyola 6-3 a week earlier. St. Francis has beaten St. Paul. So if St. Francis can beat Crespi on Friday and St. Paul beats Loyola, boom, 3-way tie for the league title. And what I don't know is these 4-team leagues have 2 guaranteed playoff spots. Who gets the 2 guaranteed spots if St. Paul wins? I don't know that. In years past, they've done coin flips. That's something we're going to have to find out this week as we get ready for that game. But I'm taking St. Paul. I think they're going to go to Loyola and get the victory.
Don't see that one now. Rancho Cucamonga and Damien. The most overrated story, the most overcovered story of the year is Freddie's tilting that boat going sideways. It's going down.
Oh,
Freddie, wait, whoa.
About Damien?
Very briefly, Coach. Here we go, Coach. Go.
Hey, you know what? So people say, what I'm hearing is Damien is not eliminated. And I think you've heard this too, James, and we've talked about it kind of, off of Zoom, that the top 50 teams in the Cal Preps ranking are going to have a good chance of getting in the playoffs regardless of their record.
Yep.
You can look, in the Trinity League. I think there's a 5th place team. Jay Sarah is going to finish 3-7. They're ranked in the 20s. They might get in. I think Damien might be one of those next highest ranked teams. If they can beat Rancho Cucamonga on Friday, and that's a big if, they go 4-6, and you're supposed to need to be 500 or better to get in the playoffs, but it doesn't say teams that are 4-6 or 3-7 or even 2-8 are eliminated. So it'll be interesting to see what CIF does. Now, am I going to pick Damien to win on Friday? No, I think they're going 0-3 in the baseline. We've just seen it too much. The loss to Chino Hills, I know they came back. They showed a lot of guts coming back in a game they were down big, but I'm just not buying it. Rancho Cucamonga is a really good team. I think they want to guarantee that they finish second in league, and they're going to want to beat Damien. So does Damien get in with a 3-7 record, James? I just don't see it. But we cannot say they're eliminated because we just don't know. First time they're doing this format, we're going to have to wait until Sunday. We're going to have to wait to see what the Cal Preps ranking is. But I am selling on Damien now. This is a disappointing season. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They came in this season with a lot of hype videos, during the spring, the Unleashed Bechtel pictures when they wanted to play, and they went through. They're 3-6 right now. Can go 3-7. I know they played a tough schedule. This is what they wanted. This is what they asked for. But they're gonna, they haven't taken that step forward. And we've seen this when Coach Gano took over the team years ago, followed by Mark Paredes. You had coaches like Bechtel who came in with championship pedigrees, and for whatever reason, Damien, nobody can do it. We haven't seen it yet. No one's been able to really completely change the culture, turn it into a winning program, compete for the baseline league title. It's been a long, long time. Will Bechtel get it going next year or the year after? We're going to have to see it. They can talk the talk all they want, but sooner or later they got to walk the walk, and they certainly didn't walk it this year, James.
And they were one desperate offensive drive away from being 2-8.
Yeah. That's why they call it.
So that's just something to keep in mind here. Here's another great game here, Freddie. Troy at La Habra. Big ramifications here, pal.
Yeah, no, look, La Habra was 0-5. They came into the league, and I said they're a team capable of flipping the switch, and they have. I don't know whether they got healthy, they kind of waited, they focused on league. They're going to win this game, win the league championship, be 5-5. And James, these are one of these teams that, whether you like this playoff format or not, because they started 0-5, they're going to be, what do you project them, Division 6 or 7?
6 or 5 or 6. Right now, it's either 6 or 7, one of those two.
Now, you put La Habra in 6 or 7, they're going to, out of all the teams that go into the playoffs, they're going to be my favorite to win that division. I mean, this is a team that's been in Division 2 and 3 traditionally. You're going to put them in 6 or 7? I mean, my goodness. I think La Habra's got a great chance at winning the CIF championship. I said this when they were 0-5, that what's going to happen is they can go into the league and punch their ticket in the playoffs, and they're going to have a great chance to win a championship, better than they have when they've had better teams in Division 2. This is what this format has caused. Diamond Ranch is another one, James. If they beat San Dimas on Friday, and I think they will, they're going to guarantee their ticket. All of a sudden, they're healthy. They're going to put them in Division 7, 8, or 9, and Diamond Ranch is going to have a chance to win a championship. Again, this is what this playoff formats have created. Teams like this. Charter Oak is another one. I think at 5-5, they're going to get in one of these Division 6s or 7s. They're going to have a shot. So, this is what they meant by parity. They wanted teams ranked 16 to have a chance to beat one in every one of these divisions. But, James, we're going to see good teams like Glendora, Monrovia possibly go out in higher divisions, teams that are 10-0 who played themselves into tough spots, while you're going to reward the La Habras and the Diamond Ranches and the Charter Oaks at the end of the day in divisions they're more capable of winning. You watch when it comes out on Sunday. This is something we're going to be talking about.
Yep, that is for sure. So that was going to be the last game. Was Diamond Ranch at San Dimas. You are taking Diamond Ranch in the upset, so that Mark Holman doesn't return your phone call Friday night.
Yeah, I'm taking Diamond Ranch in the upset. I guarantee this. Book it. Guarantee.
Ooh.
Guarantee.
Ooh.
I'll wear this helmet next time we do a drill. If I'm wrong on this one, and I've got.
Oh boy, you heard it. You heard it here, folks.
I will put it on and wear it during the next show.
All right. Well, you do know that he's got a few helmets in his garage there.
Because Fred is
right about this. There you go. Let's just quickly talk about Freddie. What is now becoming one of our great traditions on Friday night around 10:30, 10:45. Freddie puts all the stories and scores together and puts together in the Friday evening wrap.
Friday evening wrap. And yeah, we'll have a few games to cover to wrap in there, along with the Thursday night game, the Monrovia game, and all of the scores. And again, I'm going to have my own wrap of sorts on Friday night. That's online. That includes, and I'll include that in there too. It'll be kind of a roundup of just the big games that happened Friday night, and what that means for their playoff hopes going into Sunday. So pay attention, and we're going to do a Spaces Friday night, right, James?
We'll be back on Twitter Spaces with our good pal Tarek Fatal from the Daily News. We'll start at 10:20. We'll take it up the way to midnight. Freddie usually chimes in at 11 o'clock, and then he says sayonara, so to speak, 10 minutes later. And so we'll cover everything in the LA County, so to speak. And then Sunday, Freddie will be back on Twitter Spaces at 11:45 with real-time analysis of the brackets as they drop at noon on Sunday. And I think you're right, Freddie. This is going to be the most talked about selection Sunday in our lifetime.
Yeah, in history, look, we're in the social media area, so since that came on around 2000, you've never had a situation like this where you don't know your playoff division until pairing Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be the most anticipated pairings that we've ever seen, and there's going to be a lot of shock, a lot of disappointment, a lot of wow, how did we get in there? Who are we playing? There's going to be some teams that are shocked that they're the top seed, some teams that are shocked that they're the 16th team. And when you talk about a game of inches, it's a game of rankings. Just one ranking spot is going to be the difference for a lot of teams between being a top seed and a 16th seed. It's just remarkable how this is going to play out.
It's going to be fun. By the way, folks, girls volleyball quarterfinals this week. We'll start the semifinals on Saturday and then the finals next week. So LaSalle, book it in the finals. Just say, that's my prediction. I'm just going there. All right. That'll do it for us. We're going to have this up here in about, we're filming this. Yes, sir.
Let's get it up.
If we're going to get it up, it's 10:20 right now. We'll probably have it up by 11 o'clock, 11:30. And then, folks, we'll see you all at the games on Thursday and Friday. Make sure you catch us on Twitter Spaces on Friday night and on Sunday. So for Freddie, I'm James. Until next time, it's sayonara for now.
Okay.